now tuned in to Get Lifted. Enjoy. Awesome. In to another episode of Get Lifted. 30 is the new 20. Please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live. I'm La Hefa.
Chris O.D.
E-I-E-I-O. SmileyJizzle in the building.
And go watch the video from last week. It's coming out at 8 o'clock. If you didn't watch it, but there's 2 videos coming out for last Sunday. So go tune in.
Double whammy.
Double whammy. Oh man. So, how was everybody weekend?
Mine's pretty chill. I didn't do much. Just chilled out with your daughter. You got the lighter over there? E-I-E-I-O.
You ain't watch nothing new or
Oh yeah, I watched G20. I want to talk about that because I feel like.
Alright, let's talk about it. I watched that too.
It was
That's one
good,
of the things
right?
I did.
What was G20 about?
It's a movie about, I guess they would call it a terrorist attack, but they, so Viola Davis played the president, and her husband.
Let me stop you right there before you go. How do you feel about them still making a woman?
There's been
president,
a bunch of movie and TV shows,
but still doing it, and we just got a new president. That's why you don't feel like it's like you think it's like some type of why they doing that, like
and what these type of movies they making these espionage and all this terrorist attacks, and I feel like I agree with I don't agree how they handled it in the movie, but and it was more for self. I don't think they really was trying to say, oh, the government corrupt. They just wanted money. But I feel like
wasn't Zach Morris like the coolest fucking terrorist?
That was Zach Morris?
Yeah, that's fucking Zach Morris.
That was Zach?
No, it wasn't.
Zach in this movie?
Zach Morris.
That's dope.
That was
I
nice.
gotta see Zach. Yeah, he's like, that was Zach.
Oh no, you're right. From I knew I recognized him. Yeah, you're right. I thought I was thinking about the guy from High School Musical.
I feel different. Like I used to call myself the Black Zach Morris. I can't do it no more.
Yeah.
Why not?
He was a terrorist.
He was cute.
I don't support terrorism.
But so it was basically.
By the bell.
I know, but if I say Black Zach Morris, it's still
so there was a conference in South Africa. The president went there, and they said that they didn't like the premise of the movie is they held them hostage because there was a conference in South Africa. The president and all the other global leaders around the world came, and it was an inside job. Like there was a breach in security. So they got together, they shut down all the security.
Spoiler alert.
So and everything, and they held them hostage because they wanted their money. They wanted to get people to invest in their cryptocurrency. So they made them read a statement, and then they did some AI junk and changed and put another, made it like they said something else they didn't say. They made each person, each leader of their country or whatever, they made them all get on camera and say something, but just so that they could have their voice, and then they edited to and put a different audio up there basically, to get people to believe that they're wasting the money, like they're taking our money so they could get one world order. That was the message. So when everybody's seen that, now they all took their money out of those institutions, and then that brought their sales up for the cryptocurrency. So ultimately they're getting paid off of it, but they said we want control back to the people, but I really think They just wanted the money. It wasn't about credit.
You know what's crazy about that whole scenario? Like the whole time you're describing this shit, it sounds like the whole Doe's situation in the White House now.
That's what I
Elon.
said. I believe.
And it's like, yo, like, what if the movie was trying to put that in your head because they were like, yeah, this is where we're heading. Like, it's gonna be a cryptocurrency that's gonna take over the White House, and then we ain't gonna know what hit us. Because once that shit is in play, that person holds the power. If you think about it, he's in control of the money, if that's his creation. And they unalived the Cash App dude for less. You see what I'm saying? So like it's a
I mean,
it's
because people want money.
Yeah.
People want money, even
At the
small
detriment.
amounts of money. Like it's crazy. Like people are really. It's not even greed anymore. It's just like the desire to have a little bit of tender is good for them, even if it's $1. But they won't take a penny. I know it's like if I told somebody I'll give them 500,000 pennies or $5,000, which $5,000 cash, which would you take? And a lot of people said $5,000 cash. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? What is really wrong with you? Like, yo, like that's crazy.
It's just they just don't want to go through the hassle of dealing with 500,000 pennies.
Yo, you don't want to go through the hassle of being rich.
Yeah,
because
you're right.
All you gotta do is take it
being
to the
rich
bank.
is the sustainability, yo. You gotta be able to keep yourself rich. And how do you keep yourself rich? A lot of people that just get money that never had financial literacy or a business acumen scheme, they shit their money away. And then they end up being broke, or they have to file for bankruptcy because they bite off more than they can chew, and they can't keep up with the maintenance of what they're paying for. Like they'll get a fucking car that costs $2 million. You don't know like when you have to get that shit fixed, or you have to get your brakes done, or you need to get your oil changed. That shit's gonna cost a lot.
Yo,
and if you're not rich, you can't do it.
Check this
So
out.
you just get $1 million and you spend $1 million, you spent your money, bro. That's it.
You heard about what China was saying about all that designer shit that these rappers and these fucking fashionistas, you know what I mean? They throw in a bag of Chrome Heart and all these fucking, you see what I'm saying? And they were like, yo, bro, all that shit is knockoffs too. It just goes to them for the tag, for the made in Italy tag, and it goes to, you know what I'm saying?
Because they get people, because people don't check their shit.
Yo, you can't tell the difference.
You never go into if you don't go to a diamond exchange and get your shit, then you're not gonna get the best jewelry.
But this is what I'm saying, bro.
They have to vet their jewelry.
This is what I'm saying.
Licensed jewelers.
Hold on. Listen to what they're really saying, bro. If Canal Street shit, the knockoff shit, is made in the same spot as the designer shit, and we don't know that we're paying for the same shit, my nigga, then that's a big problem, because we're just blowing money, especially in our community. We're just blowing money, and that's just not even expensive for us.
Because either you get your shit directly from the source, or you get your shit made in China.
But that's what I'm saying, Smiley. What China is saying,
I'm telling you,
is that the people that saying that they got it from the source, you're really just paying for the tag. That's what China is saying.
But
China's saying all that shit is fake, and y'all niggas is stupid paying thousands of dollars for all of these fucking clothes.
I'm not challenging that.
And you're paying for the tag.
I'm not challenging that.
That's crazy.
That's partially true. But if they're saying in the entirety of all of this exchange, then I challenge that, because I know Italy does have a consortium of jewelry. Africa does have a consortium of jewelry.
No,
Europe does have a consortium of jewelry.
I'm not talking about jewelry. Jewelry is different because
but that's what we're talking about. We're talking about gold.
I'm talking about clothes. No. They're talking about the clothes.
Oh, clothes.
They're saying that like the Italian brands that, you know, Versace.
Well, that shit I can't argue. But I know that they do have designs that come there, but like basketball players and shit like that, they travel to go get tailor-made. Like fucking like Durant, he went to Italy and had a fucking Gucci suit made for him.
That's dope.
So it's possible to get your shit from the source, and you know you're getting it from Italy because you're going to Gucci in Italy, getting that shit made, and you're gonna pay an upfront tailor-made to fit. You're gonna pay thousands of dollars for this garment, and they're gonna come back home. It's one of a kind. Nobody else has this. But if you're ordering bulk of something, then you run that risk. You got to do your research. You know what I mean? Like whenever you ordering shit online, like I ordered what you call it, white labeling merchandise. Let me explain what that is. So white labeling is like when you're buying something that is like maybe an off brand and you change it to your brand to rebrand it. So you start so you get your product and you make this product under your name. So the product that I did, which you guys will probably see in like recent videos, the product that I did was dissolvable laundry detergent sheets, right? So there's little like laundry detergent sheets that dissolve in the water. The brand's idea was to make it a baby-friendly brand, like Drift or some shit like that. You know what I mean? And it was supposed to be my own brand, black-owned business type of shit. I was just doing my research on how convenient this would be, how much money it would save, how would it appeal to the mother market, and all of that shit. Yeah. How would it appeal to the market, and what demographic I would look. Obviously, it would be mothers who just had children.
You look Rasta. I ain't gonna hold you, cuz.
It just needed.
Yo, that's why this is my nigga. You look Rasta as fuck. Queen. Yo,
word, my yo.
Yeah, talk that shit.
But yo, for real, like, I really thought I had something, but when people buy shit online, because I was using Alibaba. When you use it, Alibaba is a place where you can buy a bulk of certain products so that you can start your online business. Oh, okay. Like you want to have an online business, you want to sell shit. You guys,
like you got a distributor,
right? It's like a distributor. So it's different distributors that you use to get certain things, and then you put it on e-commerce site such as Shopify, Shopee. That's another one.
I heard of that. I don't know what it is, but I heard of that.
Alibaba, Amazon.
Okay.
It's a whole bunch of different shit. eBay.
Shit.
So I mean, and now like I'm gonna be very generic. You could just go on ChatGPT and they'll just list all of them. So I'm not gonna really go through all of this shit because it's really one simple step and you can get it, like real talk. But before I did it the long way, you know, I didn't know that there was these conveniences happened after I had already done what I did. But yeah, it's so many ways to do this shit. But like I said, you got to do your own research and your own due diligence to make sure you're getting products that have a list of the ingredients that they're using in the products that they're giving you, so you can make sure that it's legit. Because you could be getting shit from another place and not be legitimate. But getting shit like a whole bunch of Gucci shirts, if you're not getting that shit specifically from Gucci, then you know that it's likely to be a scam. Like, cause you're not getting it directly from the source. You know you get what you pay for most of the time. And if you're getting your shit dirt cheap from some boosters or something, where they get it from? You know what I mean? Who knows? Unless they actually stole it from JCPenney's or Macy's or something like that, who knows where they got their shit from?
I went to New York for my aunt last month, I think, and she knew this lady. She was in Chinatown. this Asian lady. Her name was Jenny, and I don't know if she was Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese. I don't know. But she had, and then it was the whole. They had like they was standing out. They had pocketbooks. They had shoes. They had the one of the family with their sister had, or the sister-in-law had had jewelry. She rolled up her. She told her to come and she like, you want some jewelry too? And then she like, yeah. She like, all right, I call my sister. And then she come out and then she said, what you want? Fendi, Cartier. Like, and then she rolled her sleeve up and she had jewelry all down her whole arm, like the bracelet. She had it on her arm on both sleeves. Then she had her bag. She was like, you want earrings? They had everything. But yeah, I mean, it was cheap, so you know that it probably wasn't. But it just be, and it was mad. It was people out there too, like a lot of people. Yeah, and then she called her. She was like, "Where you at?" She had us walking. We was in Chinatown. Yeah. She got
Yeah, you can't be trusting.
I ain't getting none because I don't be
street vendors and little kiosks that be.
I mean, she know what.
But I'm just saying, you can't trust that shit. If you.
She know she ain't.
If you getting shit from the little kiosk, or you know what I mean, some shit up the street, or a nigga that got a trench coat and he got like mad different watches in his shit, man. You want to get a Rolex? And got mad Rolexes in his shit. And I got these toothbrushes too, man. Solid gold. Nah.
She know though. She don't. She wanted to get. Cause she do a mixture. She will spend like $2,000 on some shoes. I'm like, you crazy? I mean, that's your money. I can't do it. Like, because I just feel like that's just a waste of money. To me, that is my opinion. But people could spend their money how they see fit. So we went in the store.
And you know what? You know what? Also, you gotta also think about
$1,100 for some shoes. And then she's like, yeah, oh, mine cost.
You gotta keep them good. If you keep them good, you could get some money for them.
Yeah, you could.
You might not be able to get.
Someone,
you'll probably get equal or lesser value.
I'm talking about it's not like a home. It's something worth spending money on, something like that or whatever.
Like if you get something that's only one of one, you could possibly upsell it.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get it back. You could sell it to someone, but it's not.
People
and that's
pay
not
for
shit.
They're not
but
thinking
about
be
that.
People.
That's not what they thinking about. They're not thinking about, oh, I could sell it later.
No. But see, that's where it comes into play with the mindset of the person that's thinking about, okay, would I flip this coin and I take this instant gratification?
That's hilarious, actually.
Or no, would I take this instant gratification, or would I flip this coin and possibly be able to set myself for the rest of my life? If you take the money and you're comfortable with working, then you good. You know what I mean? Because you could just work and then you still got this little nest egg of bread. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, 100,000 ain't much, but it's definitely more than nothing. So you got that just lying around like, shit, I got 100,000. It's not like saying like I got $10 somewhere, like, nigga. Yeah, I got 100,000, I guess. Like, that's a different conversation. When niggas be like, yeah, man, what we trying to eat tonight, man? Shit, man, I ain't got shit, man. Shit. Well, shit, I got 100,000, shit. Niggas just shut the fuck up. Like, yo, well, shit, nigga, where you trying to eat at, nigga? Italy.
You can't tell me this shit ain't fire. All the UFC niggas.
That's the all lies on me.
That is fire, nigga.
But that shit is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, people don't really, they don't really, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't really control their finances the way that they should do it. And that's why they run into certain problems. You don't have to be a millionaire to really live a really good life.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be 1,000 here. You just really gotta be mindful of what you spend your money on.
That's it. And you know what it is
because people be making 6 figures, but they still be living check to check because everything is accounted for. You just spending it faster than it's coming in.
Exactly. I'm thinking about getting a chicken.
That should be
I'm getting some chicken.
That should be a mandatory class though, like finances in like high school and shit. Because if you don't learn that, you could fuck up. You're more likely to fuck up. You know what I mean? But the problem is that is part of society though. Like there's people that know that people aren't financially literate, and they take advantage of that. You know what I mean? That's why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So if everybody decided, okay, we're gonna be good with our finances, it wouldn't be the world that people that prey on those type of people would want. So I think that they would do things to make sure, like, nah, fuck that. I like how it was going. You see what I'm saying? That's when you start getting certain enemies, that's how you know what you're doing and what you're saying is the most potent, because it's like who is just upset that you're making sense and you're helping other people making sense, and why are they? You see what I'm saying? Like, look at the Nip situation with Big U, and you know what I'm saying. Allegedly, they said he had something to do with it, and it was basically hating because he was like, niggas, nobody's bigger than the set. You see what I'm saying? Right. And it was really some extortion shit. And he was like, nigga, you either pay up or we put pressure. And, you know what I mean? That's exactly what the fuck happened. Allegedly. But, man, like, just trying to do good, the best thing you could do is stay off the cameras.
Stay out the way.
Stay out the way and stay off them cameras, because when people have an opinion, people will always criticize.
They love the attention though.
Of course, yeah.
That's the reason why
you gotta love the attention.
Everything gets recorded.
You gotta love the attention.
People love to be looked at. They love to be. Sometimes people they like to be scrutinized too. They like people
to like any type of attention.
They like any
whether
exactly
it's negative or positive, because they give them that dopamine.
I mean, could you blame them? Like, more than just dopamine, the people that like are like, let's say like the Kai Cenats or the Aiden Rosses, and you see what I'm saying? They're actually getting paid for this. Right. So it's not just dopamine. It's not just dopamine. It's literally you're getting funded to live this lifestyle. How many people are doing
it for free though? That's why we say.
I was just talking to my boy.
No. When you're doing it for free, you're more.
I was just talking to my boy about
that. Criticized for it because nobody knows
right now.
You see what I'm saying?
I was saying to him, I was like, yo, like, you know, like I still work, I still do whatever I do. But I was like, yo, like, most of the time, like when I'm like sitting and I'm sitting around, I'm watching shit, I'm watching movies, or I only will watch YouTube. I'm only looking at shit to learn about shit or have hot button discussing points. So we have stuff to talk about. So I'm really literally watching shit to learn shit for this. So I'm like, niggas that really do this for a living, like, they're living great, because really it's an entertaining job. Like, all you doing is watching shit, absorbing from the shit that you're watching, and sharing it with people, for people that may have not be privy to this information that we're sharing with them.
They just like the way you say it.
They just like the way you say it. You know what I mean? Pretty much. But they don't know about most of the shit that people be talking about, because people, like, most of the time, all right, so a lot of these conversations they have on these podcasts when they be talking about shit, a lot of times the podcast is really just talking about shit that everybody else is talking about. Like, somebody's talking about Diddy, somebody's talking about Busta Rhymes, current events. Everybody's talking about the same thing.
Usually, yeah.
But when you talk about the dynamics of relationships and shit like that, there's still there's an area or a space in social media for those type of conversations but everybody talks about it differently. Like you got the manosphere who talks about it this way. You got Shade Room or whatever, how they talk about it in this way. And then you got the feminists, the real straight up feminists who talk about it this way. And then you got the religious people who talk about it this way. So then you got people that are just like regular people, work 9 to 5. They get up and they have a conversation about this from a very different perspective because this is all nuance. To me, I'm approaching 40 years old. A quadrennial. A quadrennial. You feel me? So I'm getting up there, and I'm starting to notice that yes, I'm with the times. I'm not like, you know, I've noticed that times have changed. I've noticed that things have gotten a lot easier. I've noticed that people make excuses and we blame certain things, but I also see shit for what it is. Like we do live in a dynamic where there's certain things that are happening that affect us. But we always talk about this all the time. And Charleston White, in his latest interview, which I wanted to talk about, he just had an interview that I peeped. And in his latest interview, he's talked about fuck black people. Right? And then he says, yo, they didn't stand up for this woman when she got shot for having grease. He got shot for having grease up. It's still recording. So
it's probably connection with TV.
Oh yeah, that's what that is. But yeah, they brought back segregation so businesses are able to have a whites only restaurant if they choose to do so, and blacks are also allowed to have a blacks only restaurant, as we discussed in a previous
final,
right? That was that was passed when we talked about it. It had already been passed.
Oh shit!
So that's a thing. So it's like
cool.
Certain things are happening, and then we got to look at how we look at it as people. And like I was saying, what I always say is, people just don't want to be a martyr. People are afraid. You know what I mean? And Charleston White said the same exact thing. I also almost verbatim to what I've said, which shows me that this guy is he's not an idiot. He's a very smart guy. He's just like, not saying that I'm smart, but I'm just saying he's
a shock jock.
He's just a shock jock, just like he says, yeah. But I also realize that it's true. You know what I mean? There's not going to be another Martin Luther King or anybody like that. Because once you get your bag, fuck everything else. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get the bag, right? You're not going to get the bag unless you do some shit to get the bag, right? And you're going to have to lay in bed with the enemy, sleep with the devil, however you want to say it. And then after that, when you finally do get the bag, they decide what you're going to do with the bag. You don't decide what you're going to fucking do with the bag. You think, oh, I'm going to use this to clean up my community or whatever. No, you got to do this and this and this and this first. And then maybe we'll let you fucking do it.
That's a fact.
And maybe we'll let you do just this, but you're not going to change the fucking world. I don't give a fuck if you're a billionaire or whatever. You're like this, you're not changing shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to make a school? Do it yourself. We're not going to help you do that shit. We don't want you motherfuckers to know about this. Oh, you know what? You know what? They want to know about their history? Fuck that shit. You don't need to know about your history anymore. You know what I mean?
And that's why you can't accomplish certain things in enemy territory. It's just the facts. If you want to live here, you just have to understand.
But that's what I was saying. But that's what I was saying. I wasn't done. That's what I was saying. Charleston White made a good point because what we saying. People don't want to be martyrs. But the only thing is somebody has to do it. He said he would do it if he felt like other people would support him doing it, he doesn't feel like they will because people are too afraid to stand up for shit.
So, like
somebody
you said,
gonna have to be
you
a
said
man.
he's a smart guy, right? So you gotta choose one.
He don't want to die.
Hold on. So now you gotta choose, right? If he's smart, if you're saying that this person and the statements that he's making is making sense, then you're also saying that what he's saying is true. And what if what he's saying is true, if nobody wants to do it and he's not even going to do it, then aren't we doomed, my nigga? Aren't we doomed, my nigga? If nobody wants to do it and nobody's willing to step up, aren't we doomed?
We not.
So
we not.
Hold on. So if we're not doomed,
question.
so if we're not doomed,
because we have to have that.
So we're not doomed. Hold on.
That's why.
So exactly. The understanding of what?
The understanding of somebody has to make a sacrifice.
No, not that understanding.
That's
the understanding is really it's an individual choice, and you have to really go inside of somebody. No. You have to really go inside of you and say, what am I fighting for? Am I fighting for everybody, or am I fighting for just my people? Am I fighting for my loved ones, or am I fighting for the black world?
Who's doing the most for you?
It depends.
I bet you right now, it's probably more white people that are doing more for you than black people.
I mean, what do we talk about? Finances in their world? Like, you got to think of what you're saying. If you're saying,
are you employed by a company owned by a white man?
100%. But this is what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If you have to depend on the slave master, does that give him a pass for being a slave master? I get everything from him because I'm in your world, bro.
Choice.
What I'm understanding, no, it's not a choice. I was not born here to be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just live in your land, and I'm talking about when you're saying you working for the slave master now, currently. You're working for the slave master because your job, we don't really consider that the slave. We just consider that your employer, right? No, we don't.
So
because listen, bro, check this out, right? There is a reason that this whole segregation shit is a thing. You see what I'm saying? So going into that, we'll say, okay, there's some people that don't fuck with you because of the color of your skin. It's racist, but guess what? This country was built off racism. And the example of that is the fucking racial shit that you have to deal with as it pertains to being a little bit darker in complexion. You see what I'm saying? This whole situation of black and white, it wasn't even a thing like way back in the days. This was a literal tactic from somebody that said, okay, we're going to separate it and we're going to give you privileges for settling in America as a quote unquote white person. You see what I'm saying? This is a real thing that somebody sat down and said, okay, we're going to separate these people and make sure that the people that are of our complexion is going to benefit and the people that are darker complexion is going to suffer. And this hasn't been solved or situated. Like, there's been promises and all these things and they never come into fruition. Why? Because we're still in enemy territory. Like, yes, we have white friends. Yes, we have white people that fuck with you and they don't care what color you are. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying all white people are the devil. I'm not saying that because we're all on the same boat. We're on the human race boat. You see what I'm saying? And there is powers that I believe that are in control that are not human, bro. They're not human. Whether you want to call it alien or whether you want to call it demonic, it's working for that spiritual sense, right? So all I'm saying is the only thing you could do as a quote unquote black person, as a Moor, as whatever you want to, is internally get right with what the fuck is going on and internally, because it has to be it's an internal battle, bro. Whatever happens inside is a reflection of the outside. That's why every thought you have comes from your mind. It doesn't come from outside of your body. You could be influenced outside, but you're not going to have the first general thought. It's going to come from internally. So internally has to be right. Internally, you know certain things are bad. Internally, you know certain things are good. internally, you know, okay, family staying together is a good thing because it gives you a certain energy that a family that's not together gives. Internally, you'll just see people sitting and chilling and everybody is in good spirits and you'll feel that. Internally, you'll come into a fucking room and you'll feel the energy, like the tension in the room, like, why the fuck is this energy like this? Because it's all internal, bro. We got to get right internally. Now, if you believe spiritually that there are chosen people, now that's a whole different argument now. Now it don't matter how much money you get. Now it matters about the fucking integrity that you have when nobody else is looking. And if that count, and you're seeing certain people of your complexion tuned into the same thing, and you're seeing, they're influencing people to do the same, but guess what? They're not a target because there's too many of them. You see what I'm saying? That's when we start saying, okay, this is what we needed to do. We have to tap into internally what we're supposed to be doing.
The Muslims got their shit together.
I mean, whoever has their shit together, it doesn't even matter. Internally, you have to have your shit together, period. So you can have it together externally. The Muslims have it together. You know why? Because they have a father. They have a father-like leader. The father-like leader was missing from the black struggle, so that's why it's so prominent. That's why it's so prominent
to be family.
You learned how to tie your tie from the Muslims. You learned how to do certain things from the Muslims. You learn not to use guns and use your hands from the Muslims.
They teach these young men 100%. Absolutely.
100%.
And a lot of them are successful.
And what did the government do to the Muslim faith? Right? They basically. I'm talking about what did the government do to the Muslim faith? Just for them being them, they harassed them. Why did they harass them? Because the government does not like black people banding together in any form of fashion. Because guess what? If they view us,
they're a target
as a danger, and this is
but they stick together and they help each other.
And this is what I'm saying. In history, how many times do you have to see whenever black people or Moors or Muslims or the black Israelites, whatever you want to consider them, when they band together, there's a problem here. That's the first thing. Like if you're gonna make change, you gotta understand that it has to be
other groups do the same.
Hold on. I'm not talking about groups. Bro. You know why the Italians is glorified here, right? They made a culture, right, of people. And then they got that culture cool as fuck in America. So now everybody wants to be mafioso. Everybody, like, even if you're talking about black gangs, white gangs, whatever gangs you was talking about, nobody did it like the Italian. You see what I'm saying? And it's not just, oh, we glorified it and made it cool. It's all around the board. They really had their hands in the casinos. They really had their hands in the construction business. They really had their hands in what's the shit with Math Hoffa, with Jimmy Hoffa? The Teamsters. You see what I'm saying? They really had their hands in shit that we still have today. So would you think that shit just disappeared? No, bro. They took the power. So you can't compare black people. What power did we take? We don't even own shit. These niggas own shit. It's not afraid. Smiley. It's not afraid. It's blackballed.
Nobody want to die.
Smiley. It's not afraid.
They died for that though.
It's exactly. But why would they die? Why would they die? Because they're no. They're being blackballed. The whole world, the word of blackballed is derived from how it is to be a considered black. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to be black, so black is supposed to be evil. If you look in the dictionary right now, you look at white and black, you'll see the difference, and you'll see how, the general public learns to develop at an early age. That's why when I think E was talking about it with the dolls, and even if it was like a black doll, even the black kid was like, yeah, this is the bad doll. You see what I'm saying? And that's taught young. So what I'm saying is you can't make these. It's not just about dying. It's about succeeding successfully and then making a difference. If there is no possible way to succeed successfully by bringing all the people that look just like you with you, then it's not really a group success. It's a personal success, and that's the limit that you could go in this country. And it's a sad reality, but that's the limit you could go. You could bring a couple of people that.
But that's what I said. It's still going to be a group effort, but
yeah,
in order for that,
but it has to not look like that.
In order for
you will go down on RICO charges.
Hold on. In order for the group effort to work out, everybody got to be on the same page. That hey, 100%. Some of us might not make it out of here, and is everybody willing to be on that page?
Infiltration is a motherfucker though. Yeah. Look what they did.
Oh, and I just watched a movie called Black Bag.
Look what they did with the Panthers. Look what they did to Fred Hampton. Like, yo, that was a whole movie with Lakeith.
Because everybody got a price.
And that's what I'm saying.
Everybody got a price.
Especially if your price is freedom.
What's your price?
Especially if your price is freedom. They had a whole black man thinking that he was like in this. And that's, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't want to feel like I'm holding on to a situation, but that kind of is a reflection on how I see like certain people, certain black people that work in the government, and they have to overlook certain things. Mm-hmm. It's like some of that shit is like, I know it goes against your moral code, but you just like, fuck it, it is what it is. I can't do that for the bread, bro. Me personally, I can't do that for the bread. And if you do it for the bread, and I know that you're overlooking certain things for the bread, then I know that, yo, you're not on the same team I'm on, bro. Mm-hmm. I really look at it like that. Like, that shit crazy to me. You just can't overlook certain things, like, you know what I'm saying? And then come back to the cipher like everything's good. Like, nah, bro. Shit is crazy. It's like, if somebody you was cool with is a PD file, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, no, you can't come back to the cipher and everything's all good. Like, no, you do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could understand if you didn't know the girl was, you know what I'm saying? But nah, nah, bro. As soon as you on that list, we not friends no more. Cause now I know what team you really playing for,
can't
bro.
Can't be around.
You gotta cut off certain
Especially
energies,
if you got
bro.
kids. You know?
Exactly. You gotta cut off certain people, bro. You can't save them. You gotta let people be who they want to fucking be, bro. Like, shit crazy. And not for nothing, this government really don't like black people banding together or brown people banding together. And it's like, period. You see what I'm saying? And it's evident. And it's clear. It's like, all right, you know what I mean? Will our people ever get it together in this country? I think it's gonna have to be a catastrophic change. And we're probably gonna be afraid of it. And as a majority people, we're probably gonna be afraid of it. But you know,
it'll have to be by force.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Everything has to be by force, bro. You see what I'm saying? And that's why they don't want us to use force. Remember? Remember we was talking about that shit?
The government, like the government assists people because it like babies people. Like, people can't do it by themselves. Mm. So like, you're already used to like them like taking care of you or whatever. So then when they make you do something, you're like, well, I have rights. So now they gotta make you do it so that you get your shit together.
It's a psychological
It's kind of fucked up, but then it's like, I gotta spank you in order for.
But you gotta take it out, right? As much as
you gotta give them some discipline, some consequence.
As much as the U.S. government has given us, I promise you, it's probably 2 times more that they take away. And I'm probably being generous by saying 2 times more that they've taken away. Like, you know how many things that, like, we're talking about financial literacy. you know how many write-offs and ideas and like loopholes that are in, you know, taxes and government grants and all these things that we just have no clue about. You see what I'm saying? It's all out there. People are making
it's out there
bread.
But here's another factor. The people that don't have a lot of money because it's a capitalistic
you gotta have money to make money. So
the people that have the money, they have more issues. Like the people like medium life or whatever, or middle class, whatever. Yeah, they're not. Their life is not really that bad. I mean, it's livable. The people that have money, they got so many people that rely on their funds. Because they have to pay up their resources. They have to continue to keep making money, and they keep these people happy so they can keep making them money. And it's really it's residual, but it's only because they continuously work. Warren Buffett is almost 90 years old. Dude is still working, bro.
Yeah, like, but it's how he works. It's how he works.
But it's still,
he works with his mind. He doesn't work with his hand.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
90-year-old mind.
It does matter. You want to know why it matters?
You old and you still working.
You want to know why it matters?
Not be working.
It matters. It matters because we're blackballed. It matters because our minds are limited because they rather want us as consumers than the people that's in charge.
Well, yeah, that's
so that's why I'm saying it matters. Point. It matters a lot.
Class, like, that's what makes it easier because they make things that are within your price range accessible to you, so that you can be like, oh shit, I can afford that. I can afford that TV or that projector or that.
You're not financially literate.
And then you just get that shit and you just like, yo, I'll get that and I'm happy with that. I'm not thinking about excelling in life.
You ever see that video? It was from like 1950s, bro. It was been black and white and it was like selling to the Negro. And it's like when you're selling to the Negro, you gotta make sure even if it's pricey, you gotta act like, oh yeah, you probably could afford this, and you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean, it goes against their ego because they're gonna want to feel like they have. You see what I'm saying?
I deserve it,
bro.
You know what I
mean? They know. So all I'm saying is,
we're gonna keep buying Gucci, we're gonna keep buying Chanel, we're gonna keep buying.
All I'm saying,
buying Burberry.
All I'm saying is, if they know, right? If they know how most young African Americans believe or think, right? The only real answer is internally. Because if you are on some internal shit, right? If you believe in the God that is guiding you, right? Spirit that is guiding you to do whatever you're doing in life, you're gonna have a certain moral code that you go by. And if other people have this moral code, you don't have to have that conversation. You'll just see it in their actions and what they do, what they talk about, whatever. So this is it's like going back to before the Tower of Babel where we all spoke the same language when we didn't have to speak. You see what I'm saying? The actions of what we're doing is like the people that get it is going to resonate to you. Like a motherfucking, you feel me? You don't have to say it. Nobody is going to be targeted because nobody's going to know. Like, it's not verbal. The problem is we're so cool with it. We make our own lingo. We make our own shit. You know what I mean? We want to be seen. Everybody wants to have, you know what I mean, a YouTube channel now. Everybody wants to put themselves in a pedestal.
So should segregation be brought back?
Yes, so we could see like E was saying. I was saying this before, bro. Like, yes,
Who said that? Did Whoopi Goldberg say
No,
that?
It was a black lady on the train, I think. But at the end of the day, she right though. Like, yo, we need to see who is not fucking with us. Like, you ever walk into a fancy, I say fancy because it's worth a lot of money. Right? You ever walk into a fancy diner and then you just realize, oh, it's not a lot of black people here. You might be treated different.
Feel uncomfortable.
You will never feel like that in the colors only. Ever, bro. That's all your people.
And you're like, yo, come in here, my nigga.
Bro, the only way that's gonna be a bad thing is if racism fucks with it. So if they say, yo, even though you have your own shit, we don't even feel like, we still don't fuck with you. We don't want you here, period. And the KKK come back, and you know what I mean, they start letting them walk down the streets or whatever, that's when it's going to be a problem. It's not going to be a problem with black people because we're going to figure it out like we always do. We figure shit out.
So what's your take?
Bring back segregation.
100% disagree.
Dead angry. Bring it back. I want to know where I'm not welcome, okay? Put them signs back up. Colors only, whites only. Let's do it, all right? Rip the Band-Aid off. Especially for a restaurant. Are you kidding me? Whites only? What do I want to do in there? What they got? Mashed potatoes? Mayonnaise, hot dogs?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Colors only, we got seasoning. Turmeric.
Paprika.
Paprika.
Okay, I like this.
Okay.
You were saying that the black excellence.
Absolutely.
The segregation is to get
The colored excellence.
Okay.
Okay. What's the playlist in the whites only spot? They playing Carrie Underwood and Kid Rock. We playing Babyface and Diggable Planets. Ain't no overhead lighting. What are you talking about?
Wait, where am I going?
Colors.
Hell yeah.
Look at his hair. Talking about where am I going? That's the problem with North Africans.
That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. I'm in. 100% agree. Let's go.
Talking about where I'm going.
Listen,
Fuck that shit.
it's funny.
And blacks is always more receptible to other races than any other race. If you think about it, bro, we'll let you into the barbecue before.
I think it'd be
let
more.
us into
I
the
think it'd
picnic.
be more harm than good.
I mean, because you've seen
we live in a already chaotic society where they're already trying to limit our freedom of speech because people can't say anything nice. Like if you could say something that's thought provoking and not really be, intentionally hurtful for somebody. Like if I can give you an opinion to improve on something without insulting you, wouldn't that be better received than me saying you a fucking piece of shit? Why don't you do this? You know what I mean? Like
no, because I don't know the real you. The real you is you a fucking piece of shit, and I need to stay away from you. The you that you want to put or perpetuate is, if it's not real, I don't want it, nigga. I need the authenticity, bro. I don't need the bullshit. I don't need a PC. I need the real, my nigga, because guess what? It's a spiritual world out here, my nigga. It's a spiritual war out here. We need to know who don't fuck with us. And we don't need that shit to be sugarcoated.
But what's being taught, right? What's being taught is for people to be kinder to people.
No, it's fake.
For why? Why do you hate this person?
It's fake.
Why do you not like this person?
For the color of our skin, bro.
But I'm just saying,
and we just gotta get over
that shit.
Absolutely. You can't. If somebody slap you in the face and they tell you just gotta get over it, no, you're not gonna get over it.
That's slapping me in the face.
That's the same shit. It's disrespect, bro. Disrespect and lies is disrespect and lies. If you want people to disrespect and lie to you, then we're going to carry on lying to us and making us think that we can live here. Hold on. You could carry on lying to us and make people think that, okay, it's not that bad and we'll be all right. Yeah, racism still, you know what I mean? But it's never going to get solved. But you're saying that, fuck it, it don't matter. As long as we got this, as long as we could, you know what I mean, fucking survive, and some of us can survive, we're good. No, I'm welcoming authenticity. I'm welcoming authenticity. I'm offering, hey, if that person really fuck with you and they don't care about you for the color of your skin, then they'll treat me with that. But if they do give a fuck, they need to be real, my nigga. They need to tell me, yo, get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit.
You're welcoming chaos, but
that's not chaos. That's reality. If reality is chaos, then that's why we fucking got kicked out of Eden, my nigga. Because we don't even know what paradise. We don't even know what paradise is. We don't know what that shit look like. You're saying that we can't even see a better world because this is just as good as it gets.
You want people to have boundaries and constraints because you want people to
for genuine purposes, not fake.
Well, you want people to see that genuine. You want people to show that, okay, I can control myself. It's called self-control. Outbursts and just going and just tweaking and just crashing out on somebody just because you don't like them is ridiculous.
It's deeper than that. What I'm saying is, hold on, Smiley. Listen, I'm not talking about behavior issues.
All the time.
I'm talking about racism, Smiley. I'm not talking about behavioral issues. I'm talking about racism. If somebody is racist and they don't like you because listen to what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
If somebody is racist and they don't like you because of the color of your skin, right? Mm-hmm. They don't need to be cooking me shit. They don't need to service me. I want them to tell me, yo, I don't fuck with you because of the color.
Because they're gonna be like, yo,
and it don't matter.
Like you.
No, they ain't gonna say that. Regardless of whatever they do, I'm not gonna give them that chance. You know why? Because if I know that this person don't like me, I don't need to get your service. We don't need to interact. That should be a right, my nigga. What you're saying is people have the right to lie to you and act like, hey, I'm professional and you're black, but I don't care. They can act like it, but not be genuine. No, that's not better than somebody saying, yo, I don't fuck with you, and if you eat here, I'm probably gonna shit in your food, nigga. That's not better than that, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, you're just gonna eat some wild shit because you're saying, okay, it's better that this person treats me with respect, even if they don't respect me. No, not to me. Not to me, bro. That's wild.
Like personally, like, if a person disrespect me, personally, I feel like, okay, we have a problem. If you understand me as a person, then you wouldn't just want to just openly disrespect me, because you would realize, okay, that's gonna lead to something that we don't want, unless you want those problems. Now, if it's a person that's walking around that wants those type of problems or whatever, and they're looking for that, it's good to weed those people out. But it's also good to also understand.
Whites only, blacks only, colors only, whatever.
I'm not done. It's also good to weed out the people that can control themselves, despite their differences with another person. There's people that could save. There's people that could save another person's life, despite them not liking your race or something like that. You know what I mean? And they have to do it. But it's crazy that, damn, you're gonna put this person's gonna put their life in your hands. That's just a risk in some situations that some people are willing to take, and others, like yourself, might not be willing to take. I think but that's that hold on, I'm not done. But that might not be for everybody. But what I'm saying that I think would be for everybody would be for people to be able to control themselves. I don't know to what capacity that needs to be, but that's just, all right, I'm not gonna just misbehave just because of this. I can control myself. A crash out is a crash out no matter what, whether you hate me or you whatever. If you a crash out and you hate me, because you can hate me and sit in your seat. But if you hate me and you get up and you start acting up, then you're gonna get fucked up. So it's two ways we can have this situation. Either you be humble, shut the fuck up, or you be like, whatever. But my whole thing with somebody saying, being direct or saying like, yo, a person a piece of shit, get your shit together. Sometimes people need that pill to swallow. But if that's a person, if they just feel like you're a piece of shit and you're like, well, I'm not a piece of shit, then that's another thing. This person is just openly just insulting you, but that's also understanding that individual. Because I am the type of person to say somebody's a piece of shit, get their shit together. But in the circumstances that I need to be, that would be a person that is somebody that is maybe a family member or somebody that I care closely about because I'm trying to help them. As opposed to just saying that to a random motherfucker that you just met. There's context with that. If I'm saying that to somebody that I just met out of the blue, and I'm like, yo, you piece of shit, get your shit together and just spit on you, then yeah, that's different. You don't want a world like that, because that's a world of chaos. That's people like punching each other in the face versus, yeah, maybe tough love, or maybe somebody just being nicer about it and saying, you know what, things aren't the way that they need to be. Maybe here's an option for you, and kissing your ass. No, sometimes you do need somebody to tell you how it is. But a lot of people prefer the kinder approach. Go ahead.
So I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but I'm saying like look at it like this. If you know that certain people are for you, certain people not for you, right? It's easier to tell if a person is not for you if they let you know either verbally or by something that they do, period. Absolutely. Just in general.
I agree.
Right? So what I'm saying is if somebody says, even though not every business has to put whites only up, I'm going to put whites only. You see what I'm saying? 9 out of 10 times, unless you're just being a dick and you're like, fuck it, I just want to go in there because I'm not welcome here. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to fuck with their food because you're going to know what it is. This is all I'm saying. You need to have the choice to know what it is because we no longer have that choice. That choice was taken from us, bro. Now when you walk into a fucking a restaurant that doesn't like you, you have no idea. You have no clue. And you could think that, hey, this food is great and, you know what I mean? You got to just trust them. You have to trust man. You might have to trust the enemy. And it's 50-50. I'm saying if you know 100% that says whites only.
What if it say we prefer whites?
That's the same difference.
Wait.
It's the same difference.
Is it Erika?
It's the same difference.
Explain.
We prefer whites.
If they're saying we prefer, then that means it's just like, it is still fucked up to say.
Period. Not just fucked up.
Prefer means you can still come, but we'd rather if you didn't. We'll accept.
Is there a lesser of the two evils though in that situation?
No,
yeah, because you're not allowed at all. They're telling you don't come in. The other one is they'll still serve you, but they don't want you there.
It's the same difference.
But one could be like a setup.
Both of them.
One is just like, yo,
they be like,
nigga, don't even come here.
There.
Right. If you wish. Right. That's really what that means. Like, if you
so
wish.
That's worse. That's worse.
Come at your leisure.
That's worse, bro. Because now you're getting back to you not knowing, nigga. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
now you're getting back to just you
like
not knowing,
like,
my nigga. At the end of the day, bro, you have to know who fucks with you and who doesn't fuck with you, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. I think the majority, because black people are, even though we're a little rough, we're a kind race of people.
And trusting as fuck.
You know what I mean? So we would really like not even try to do that. Like I don't see
we wouldn't, nigga.
Black people really having
we wouldn't
a blacks only restaurant. Why the only people that would insinuate that would be someone that
we would have
welcome. We welcome fucking white people to come into our mom and pops and our
100%.
You know, all those
Smiley, I'm not saying our people is gonna go and you know what I mean. I'm just saying that it gives you a chance of seeing who really doesn't fuck with you and who really does.
Everybody the same when you go down south. Now, I mean, it's racism down there, definitely. No. Listen to what I'm saying. When you go to the Waffle House, you get the best type of fucking service. Like you ever going to
it's the Waffle House.
You ever going to a like a diner on the East Coast anywhere and like you just felt like, oh yeah, this is the best place ever. Like the way that they treat you. Like not normally, sometimes you always get somebody that got a little bit of an attitude, or you get somebody that might have had a bad day. But if you go to commercial joints, yeah, people treat you respectfully, but people that work at those places where they really need their fucking tips, they might really be a lot nicer to you.
100%. But those places aren't exempt from racism, though.
No, I'm definitely not.
All I'm saying is if this country is built off the back of racism, my nigga. Literally,
right.
like,
yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? And so much so that I believe that it's never going to be equal, because if it's equal, it's not going to be equal. It's going to look like
it's going to be 60-40.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to take over. Like, just by the rate of the children being produced, I believe that blacks and browns would take over if certain things more regulated and perpetuated to our communities. 100%.
Yo, but you remember Dave Chappelle's skit, bro. The racial
yeah, 100%
draft.
Yeah.
And it was like not that. When we got reparations.
Oh yeah. Because we got financial literacy, bro.
And we put stock for KFC went through the roof, and it was like, wow, they're giving the money back just as fast as they're getting it. Like, it was like,
but
it was a terrible joke, but
they're never gonna give us reparations.
How much truth?
They're never gonna
believe in that.
They're never gonna give us reparations,
bro. But
you know why?
Let me
tell you why.
You think that
Let me tell you the real why.
We be putting all our money back into this.
Let me tell you the real why. Yes, there's gonna be some people that decides to do that and fuck off their money, but the people that benefit, like the Muslims and the factions that are already banded together, Black Panthers, like the ones now, fucking, you know, certain factions of Black organizations, you're gonna weed out in that process with that money. You're gonna weed out the ones that fuck off their money, which is probably gonna be a lot, and the ones that take that shit to the next level. And I think there will be enough for them to be like, okay, all y'all that fucked off y'all money, this is how we're gonna do it because we need workers. Because now the reason why they don't want us to band together and have these you know what I mean, discussions is because now it's a takeover, bro. Now it's certain minds coming together and saying, okay, let's organize. I can organize you now. And there's no outside faction saying, no, you can't do that. You see what I'm saying? Now, if the outside factions come in, like the U.S. government, we'll know that it's not because we fucked off our money. It's because we banded together and they didn't like that shit. They thought we were gonna fuck off our money. And then they decided, okay, we need to infiltrate. And then that's crazy because you know how many Black people work in the U.S. Government? So they're gonna have to take a blind eye to what their government is doing to their people. You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's really a choice, bro. And I don't even think it's a racial choice, bro. It's evil because it can't just be because of the color of your skin. It can't be, bro. You see what I'm saying? That's too fucking bullshit. That, oh yeah, it's just because of the color. No, it's deeper than that, my nigga. Like the KKK, the neo-Nazis, they believe that they're different from us, my nigga. And there is a reason why. Even out of ignorance, there is a reason why. There's a logical reason why. And then, you know what I'm saying? They hate you because they ain't you, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like
Kim Jong-un.
They hate you because they ain't you, like. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man.
Like, watch that movie today.
You know, like I said, I want a place that, you know what I mean, we all can learn to get together, but we all have our own shit.
Wakanda.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it don't have to be Wakanda, but Wakanda is a beautiful concept. You see what I'm saying?
That's what that guy, that boy said
concept.
in the movie G20. He was like, "You from Wakanda?"
Yo, that's
because they was
that movie. Yo, the crazy thing about that movie,
Viola Davis was fighting.
She whooping ass.
She got fucked up a little.
Oh damn!
But they saved the day. Her whole family.
She the president of the United States.
And she scrapping?
And I got it. Scrapping, bro.
She was in the military.
And she got the banger.
Oh, okay.
And she fought Zach Morris and whooped his ass, bro.
She had to. She said,
he got her.
She said you weren't saved by the bell this time.
Yo! Good timing, yo. Timing is everything, man.
Timing is everything. Shit, bro.
Yo, I be thinking about doing a little stand up, man. I be having my shit, man.
Yeah, my boy told me.
My shit like off the top of my head, like my like sometimes I my shit be dead, but I got dad jokes for days, bro.
Yeah.
And now I'm almost 40, like my dad jokes is superb.
Yeah.
Do y'all know football? Well, no, listen.
Nah, talk about it.
Nah, football.
Wow.
The satellite church. Oh, gosh.
I was about to start.
He got stabbed to death by Carmelo Anthony.
What? The basketball player?
Out to the family. They trying to make this a race issue, and this is a right or wrong issue.
Okay, so real quick, I like where you're going on this because I'm not even trying to race bait or anything. People are making this about black and white. You see that they're trying to make this kind of like a Trayvon Martin kind of, they're talking about it. But where do you know?
Trayvon Martin was an angry black kid that had to be sent to his father because he lacked discipline, grew up in a home with his single mother. Any well-behaved kid with manners that had respect of adults, once George Zimmerman approached him, brother, whether he's right or wrong. As a child, this is an adult. You get off the phone with that fat ass girlfriend you trying to fuck. You call your dad and say, hey dad, it's an adult around here to just stop me. He says he's called the police. Rather than doing that, he had an attitude because as young black males in this country, we have an authority problem because we're walking around angry, displaced from our father's issue, but we resent our mothers. So we're a ticking time bomb. And Trayvon Martin can fight. So that's why I say you be careful approaching some of these young kids. What a 13-year-old to kick a 40-year-old's ass. That's true. And that's what happened in that situation. He underestimated this kid, and he was looking for trouble. But by law, he was right. And he was judged by his peers. So we can't say nothing once you're judged by your peers. Well, what do you think's going to happen in this Austin cafe? Metcalf ass go up. No, that boy going to Carmelo Anthony's going to go to jail. Carmelo going to jail. Because this, listen, you cannot bring a weapon to school. Right. So you can't say I was. What if he says self-defense? There's no self-defense because if you are afraid the day before when you have to take a weapon to school, why not notify your parents? Parents, you notify the school teacher. School teacher that bring these kids in here and resolve this issue. It's called conflict resolution. We was taught in homes that has morals and values. You tell the teacher. Somebody fucking with you, you tell the teacher. Let the teacher know. So when y'all have an altercation, you're clear to your cover. Documentation beats conversation. So where's the documentation to say this is self-defense? Charles will be on it.
He be on it, yo. He is cooking yo. Damn. Sometimes you hate when a nigga be right, but he right, nigga. He right.
How y'all feel about having him up here? You say it online.
Who?
No.
Charleston? I love it. He's gonna say some shit that
we could do it at a location.
We gonna have to pay that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to probably fly him out and all that.
He was down here for.
I think that'd be awesome, and not just for the shock shit because he has a lot of information.
He do, but you gotta remember he's a comedian too. So a lot of the shit that he says is just entertaining.
I mean, I fuck with him, man. Shit.
Yeah.
Get him some liquor and talk and have, you know what I mean, smoke some J's and fucking chop it up.
Yeah, that shit wouldn't be cheap though.
Behave.
You said what?
If he behave.
Nah,
he getting paid. We paying him for being him.
So.
And we're asking him the questions. So it's like, we just gotta let him cook. And he gonna come up here, cook, and then, you know what I'm saying? But if we challenge him, then you're gonna have to be prepared for a debate and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not.
Because it's different. Because a lot of this shit, like he said something on the last podcast that he won. He said, yo, like maybe like 30% of his money he gives back to black people.
I believe it.
You know what I mean?
I believe he's an activist. I believe he's an activist for a certain type of black people.
For the kids.
Yeah, but he's not. Boys. He's not really an activist for like niggas for.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nah.
Yeah,
just the juveniles. Because the kids. He believed the kids, like, you know, children are the future. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we have to cultivate them the right way. So,
I ain't like the shit he said about Gilly's son though. He did apologize for that, but
cause he be in character, and he say something because all right, some shit is poking the bear, cause it's a tender spot, but then it's like, is there truth to what he said? You also gotta think about like what everybody say when they say some shit. It's so like, yo, did they just say that? Because he's like, damn. I wanted to say that, you know what I mean? Or, you know what, maybe, you know what I mean, he had a point there. A lot of times we lose a young man in the community. We always think about, all right, what was they into? What was they doing?
That wasn't even for him.
Shit don't just happen.
That wasn't even for him. Like, it was literally an accident. Like, they didn't even know who they were. They thought it was somebody else, and he got clipped, and that's how.
Right, but I'm saying that happens too. That's what I'm saying. That happens too. But also what I'm saying is that a lot of times the message that we say, without having all of the context behind it, we can't just assume that, oh, it was a good kid, because everybody be saying when all these kids be getting murked, they always be saying, oh, they was such a good kid, they ain't never do nothing to nobody. But yes, they did do stuff to people.
I don't think he would have apologized if he didn't feel like he was in the wrong. If he didn't feel like what he said.
That's at the end of the day, that's somebody's son, so that's insensitive.
And he has a son
to speak on somebody. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, how would you feel? So, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day,
everybody having these like interviews.
That's the morality.
Nobody's gonna, even me. Nobody's gonna be 100% right. But if your intentions are good, then you're straight. And that's all. You gotta judge people by their intentions.
But you don't know what nobody's intentions are.
You could if you're paying attention.
You can think or assume what they are, but you are not in their head. So
no,
they don't.
You're not.
So you don't know really what their intentions are.
But that's like saying that you don't know the character of a person if you see how they act. You could think that you know the person, but you don't know the person. But guess what? The faith is trusting that, hey, this person, because
serial unalivers have whole families.
That's true.
And wives.
That's true. How many serial? That's true. But how many serial unalivers have you dated? None, right? So the odds of you finding a serial unaliver, I'm just saying you. I'm saying you specifically. I'm saying you specifically because we're talking about like the likelihood of you running into somebody like that. Nobody else. So the likelihood of you running into a serial unaliver or not being able to tell the character of this guy is unlikely. You're a pretty good judge of character, and that shit matters. It has to matter because of how the person perceives themselves. Like if they show, hey, this is a good dad and he's in their child's life, you're not gonna think he's a deadbeat. You see what I'm saying? You don't know he's not a deadbeat, but what you see perceives him, his characters.
Parents, their
I
parents
understand, but that's not likely to happen to you if you're paying attention to it. That's why I say you specifically. I can't say it could happen. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying you specifically can judge somebody off the characteristics of what that person does. And then you could be like, okay, I know this person is a good person, or I know this person is not a good person.
Now, what do you think about this 13-year-old Joshua Sudin? Georgia student becomes the youngest accepted into Morehouse College, breaking Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s record.
I mean, that's amazing.
Wrote his first book at age of 3. How would you judge this individual?
I feel like he's a genius, and I bet you he has both parents, bro. And the magic in having both parents.
Let's hope he does.
I think he does.
Let's hope he does because
I think so.
All right, let me look it up.
Let's look it up.
All right, what's his name? Joshua Sudin.
I'm saying that he's more likely to have both parents than being in a single parent household.
All right.
Or if it is a single parent, maybe just the dad. And that's no offense to the mothers, but because they don't want to promote that. That's not something that the white supremacy wants to promote.
But that's big. They can't hide that.
Yes, they can.
His name's gonna be everywhere.
His name, but his parents' name don't got to be up there.
And that's if they want to give it.
Exactly. 100%. And they don't want to get at it because that's gonna give black people inspiration. And be like, oh, if he could do it, maybe I can too. But then, then you gotta research why he has that though. Because if you research it and you find out he does have both of his parents, then guess what? Now, like I'm at a disadvantage if I don't have both of my parents in the home. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, this shit real. Like, they know what they doing. Whoever they are. Crazy, it's just spooky out here. But bro, you gotta go soon.
Yeah.
We about to talk about
Play there, yes.
You know, he's from Cali.
From Georgia. Right now, he is dual enrolled at Augusta Technical College, where he already has completed 27 credit hours. And Joshua has gotten acceptance letters from 20 other schools, but for now, he plans to defer his enrollment for 1 year to complete high school. Did I tell you that he's 13 years old?
He's gonna be 14 graduating high school. And he's probably gonna be like 17 graduating college. This is crazy.
That's crazy, yeah.
Crazy, yo. It's crazy. It's wild money. But yeah, congrats to him, man.
Yeah,
congrats to him.
Just had to throw some black excellence, man. We not all negative, you feel me?
100%. Nah, especially when you support it. You got that support in the background, bro. It's amazing what you do.
Because we just talked about the one young African American kid crashing out, and we talk about another African American boy that has excelled at the highest level.
You gotta put it on the balance beam, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We take the good with the bad. That's what happens. But a lot of times it happens because there's pieces missing in that environment. Like that kid that did what he did, where's his parents at?
Facts.
You know what I mean? So my heart goes out to that family, man. Yeah, some wild shit.
What?
The shooting.
Who was shot?
The Carmelo Anthony story.
That was I think he stabbed him.
Yeah. Oh, stab, my bad.
He stabbed a little white boy that was bullying him. That's crazy.
He brought it to school. Brought the knife to school.
Shit crazy. Yeah, man. You gonna get some time.
Then we got Quasarius. He's a football player. He choked his girlfriend out.
Yeah, I think that's CTE. Cause I be looking at like, you're a football player. Why are you putting your hands on a girl?
Because she was trying to leave him.
Nah, that's not enough. That's not enough, yo. Like, you leaving me and I'm crashing out like that? No, nobody in the world. And you
pass out and he drags her off camera, and then he walked up the stairs. Someone said, it sounded like the cops are up there asking for him. And then she gets up, she comes back into the camera, so she must have got up from after she passed out.
What did she say?
And then nothing, she just walked up the stairs out of the basement. And then show they went off.
I don't know, man. Like I said, man, I feel like these people are either sick or possessed.
He was possessed with that spirit of jealousy.
Yeah. 100%. Yes. I agree. I think he was possessed with that spirit of jealousy, and he crashed the fuck out. Or that was CTE. Because there's no way he could rationally be like, I'm just gonna beat her ass.
Here's an interesting concept
on camera, and just act like nothing. Yeah, he was trying to kill her.
Here's an interesting concept.
That's wild.
After watching The Devil May Cry, series on Netflix,
that was fire though.
I saw something in the series that made me think about something.
What?
They took, like our discussion when we were talking about segregation, racism, they took that element and made it into like demons, kind of like what they did with the X-Men. They kind of separate the mutants from regular society. They separate the demons from regular society because the demons
not all demons was bad.
Not all demons were bad, and the concept is like, isn't a demon the idea of a demon is supposed to be bad? But it was an angel being cast out of heaven because they weren't following God's plan, and they became a demon because they had to serve somebody. And are they happy in hell? No. So they want to be on earth and go to work, have a 9-to-5, raise a family, have an apartment.
Like Lucifer.
But you know what's crazy about hell? God never, it's not in the Bible of God creating hell.
You watch the show.
So what? Nah,
so
earth is hell. Exactly. Being out of the Garden of Eden is hell. That's hell.
So sometimes hell.
That's where the serpent.
So think about it.
Left to roam the earth.
So sometimes earth is not that bad. So that could be true. That you could be living in hell, but it's not that bad sometimes. You see what I'm saying? It get crazy, like
it's crazy. But then in the anime, it also illustrates hell is terrible. Like, yo, it's terrible. Like, you don't want to go back there. You know what I mean? So it's like
you can't even breathe in
right.
air. Yeah.
Like, this is like purgatory. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like until you figure out a key to make it. All right, if this is a dream, then I'm able to create things, do whatever I want. Manifestation, as they say. So I'm able to do that. So I'm able to do that, then good should happen. I say $1 million every day before I go to sleep, and I ain't get it done. So like, I don't know if that shit work, but I be trying.
But as long as you keep trying,
right.
If you ever get there, then you could say that you did it.
Okay.
Only the shots not made are the ones never taken.
Talk that shit. That's all it is for.
Yo, what if I play the lottery?
And you get it. You see what I'm saying? You never know. You can't never give up, though.
You gotta waste mad money before.
Yeah. You normally not gonna get too lucky, but if you do get lucky,
but
then
I
you
do
blessed.
know. I do know someone that hit the lottery, and they get a month every month. They get.
See, and that's hard. That's crazy because just to know somebody who won like that, I don't know nobody who won like that. You know what? Anybody who won like that?
She was friends with my mom.
See, that's dope. She's
still. Well, I don't know if she took. I don't know
she
if
won
they
back to back, right?
took the buyout
what?
Or yeah, well, because she got in an accident, she was waiting for the bus, and
they had
the garbage truck came up on the sidewalk.
What?
And hit her.
Oh, they was wildin'.
She had to get, her mouth was wired shut, like she had to get surgery, like she
damn.
But she healed, she fully recovered, but she got
ain't
that
got
was
good.
The other money that she got, like it was like close together.
See, and I bet she probably wanted to, you know what I mean? Went to bed and said she wanted to be a millionaire one day
life
too.
Shit is straight too. Would they give you $1,000 a month or something?
I don't know how much exactly she get, and I don't know if she took the buyout. I said monthly, but I don't know if she took, because they offer you could take one lump sum or you could get monthly payments. And
why was she waiting for the bus if she won the lottery?
This was before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that happened.
I was like, wait, what?
I don't know. It was close together. But
she was still doing regular shit.
She had a car though.
So she just was like, I'm gonna take the bus today. Got hit. What a coinky dink. Shout out to her though. She figured it out.
Maybe something was wrong with the car. I don't know.
She figured
it out.
Maybe
she didn't at that time, but she did have a car before. So I don't know.
Shout out to her, man. She figured it out. Hey, TT. Yo.
Some young dude out there talking about
Talk about what?
Tax time coming up, man.
Oh yeah, I got that shit.
About to give me a sugar mama. Matter of fact, speaking of sugar mama, it's a movie called Sugar Baby that I watched over the weekend. Sugar Baby is crazy. Check it out. It's crazy. So wow.
That's crazy. I'm fucking with my older chick again.
Oh, that.
So you a sugar baby? She a cougar?
She is.
How old is she?
She's only 40.
How old are you? 36?
37.
That don't count.
I know. I'm just playing.
She knows she older though.
She a little bit. She a little bit.
You be like, hold up.
Cause you know what I know?
You be like, go.
I thought you was a good guy, but you just like them.
How?
Because you say you're
be like, all right now. That's what they say. That's what the old OGs say. All right now. All right now. He said he got to the all right now stage.
Now I'm curious to what she's gonna say.
Because you say that you're dating with intention, but you still do the same thing that other guys do. You just sleep with women just to pass the time until you find someone else. So then you're just like that. You just package differently, or you move differently in certain things, but you do the same thing.
Okay. So you're saying that
Because if you did it with an intention, then you shouldn't, in my opinion.
I mean, it's always an intention of what you have. If you don't have any intentions, then you're just sleeping around.
No.
And I could agree, but my intentions are very clear. Like, the reason why I feel like my conscience is clear is because some dudes gotta lie about their intentions. Like, okay, I wanna fuck around with you or get in a relationship with you or not get in a relationship with you, and the reason be because they wanna fuck with other bitches. That's not my reason, because I don't wanna fuck with too many other bitches. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna lock myself in a situation where I feel like I am locked down and this person is claiming me if I don't know this person, if this person doesn't know me. So we have to experience time with each other, right? So once I start realizing, okay, this person really doesn't bring too much to the table, I need to be able to be like, look, I can't fuck with you no more because this is the reason. If I lock myself down in a relationship, then guess what? Now I'm lying about my intentions. Now I'm not saying, hey, this is what it was from the jump. You see what I'm saying? I'm literally telling them, like, yo, I'm not gonna get into a relationship with you because I don't know you for real. If you want to fuck, then we could fuck because I'm a man. I like to have sex. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna put you on that. We could just be platonic friends. Just know that I'll probably, what I can't get from you, I can get from somebody else. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm lying or my intentions is bad. My intentions is good. Special. It's not like I'm not saying, oh, I don't have a plan for them. I do have a plan for them, but I have to see where it goes before I could say, okay, I know where it's gonna go. You see what I'm saying?
And then when you find out where it's gonna go, then you tell them it's not going that way. So.
No, I tell them early. But the problem is, you know what the problem is? They don't care. Like, okay, I don't care that I'm in a relationship. I still want to have sex with you. And I'm not going to say no to that just because I want to have sex too. But I'm not going to front like we're in a relationship. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're in a situationship and I got to say, hey, this is what it is. So if you don't feel comfortable with this, then we got to chill. And just like the Hartford chick, I was telling him earlier, I wasn't feeling comfortable with how that situation was going, so I had to dub it. And you know, it wasn't no crash out, it just was like, okay. And then as soon as that happened, I realized, hey, this person really just wanted me for the sex. Because it wasn't like they was calling me to be like, hey, how are you?
Is that what you wanted them?
Yeah, I said, yeah, we could be friends. We could talk like regular. And this person was like, yeah, cool, we could do that. I don't mind that. But I'm really going to miss us having sex, though. I'm like, yeah, but this, it's not working. It's not leading to anything, right? Because I'm being real. I'm like, yo, like, I feel like me just going out there and, you know what I mean? If I could have, which I do, if I have the option to mess with somebody who comes to me versus me have to go out to her and there's nothing else, you know what I mean, going for that situation except for feelings. We'll say feelings. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, like.
Well, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like I'm wasting time for going over there. So I have to dub that. And
no, I'm saying about her feelings.
I think
like her feelings towards you, how does that make you feel?
I think if I didn't tell her, like, look, this is what it's gonna be and this is probably how it's gonna end up, then I would feel bad. But because I told her that, and because I also saw how easily of a transition it went from for us fucking around and how much you try to contact me when you're fucking around to the lack thereof, you see what I'm saying? And it's not like, oh, this person is doing, like, I know pretty much their schedule. I know what they own. So it's not like they're doing anything. It's just, if they're not getting anything out of it, then it's a dub. And that's regular. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I don't really feel too bad about it, because I'm a reflection of that. Like, as long as we keep it real, we're going to keep it civil. And I'll understand that what you wanted me around for, and you'll understand that I'm not going to be around for that just for your entertainment. You see what I'm saying?
I'm not here for your entertainment. You don't really wanna mess with me tonight. Just stop and take a second. You will find till you walked into my life, and you know it's over before it begins. Get my drink and just give me the money. It's just you and your hand tonight.
Okay.
That's Pink.
Okay. She brought back Pink too. Okay. Pink was bad back in the day and shit. I used to have a big crush before she went completely rocker. I was like, yeah, I don't like rocker Pink. I like R&B-ish Pink.
Off her rocker.
Yeah. Like when she sang, I was like, oh, she sounds like a black girl. Oh,
Babyface was all up in that.
She went rocker. I was like, man, I don't like that.
I don't know, baby. I don't know. I be thinking these record execs, man. They be getting.
He's not like that. He did an interview. Well, from the interview that he done, he was like a shy guy, like he wasn't. And he
seemed like
What we talking about?
And even they don't ask him certain. He was on lip service, but they kept it like PG with him. They didn't even.
Yeah, because he an OG, but
you could tell how he told you. He was like, I didn't really.
Keith Sweat would have been crazy.
No.
Yeah, because Keith Sweat probably still drink.
He be whining.
He probably still drink Erika.
I never bake a pussy like Keith Sweat.
Shout out to Big L.
Well, the good guys, that's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Get Lifted. 30 is the new 20. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live. I'm Hefa.
Gaza.
EI. SmileyJizzle, man.
CrisxmasOnDemand.
We out.
Get Lifted.